Ever since I was a child, I can remember looking up to the sky and wondering, what's beyond this world? Why am I here? What is the point of it all? I would visit church here and there as a child, but I didn't grow up in a religious family, so I didn't have anyone to talk to about there being a God and who this God is. So I carried on with my life, and when I was 18, I finished high school and I took a gap year trying to figure out what I wanted to do for tertiary education, and I ended up with a lot of free time on my hands. I would wake up early in the mornings and look at the sunrise and breathe that fresh morning air, and I just knew that there was something missing in my life, and that if there is, in fact, a creator, I needed to know who my creator is. I believed that I had a right to know who my creator is, and so I set out on a quest to find God. Now, here was the problem. I knew I couldn't go the route of religion or church. I knew that God needed to reveal himself to me in order for me to believe. When I looked at religion, I knew I wanted no parts of it. Every religion says they are right and that the other person is wrong and that they know the truth. And I thought to myself, if God is God, how can the people who believe in him and represent him be so divided? And so I decided that I would not pick up a religion. You see, religion is largely determined by what part of the world you're born in. In the West, we're mostly Christian because it is the religion of our forefathers. In the Middle East, they're mostly Muslim, and so on. And even within Christianity itself, there are thousands of denominations. I remember praying to an unknown God, and I said, God, I know you are real. Please reveal yourself to me. And whoever you are, I will serve you. I didn't know who I was talking to. I didn't know what my journey would look like, but I knew that because I was sincere, that the Creator would answer me. I ended up watching this documentary on YouTube called Zeitgeist, and it was pretty much debunking Christianity and going into the pagan roots of Christianity. And for a while, I really internalized everything, and the more I sought God, the more confused I was about the world around me. I wished he would just speak to me and say, here I am, I'm the one you're looking for, and this is everything you need to know. I don't remember how, but I then ended up in the New Age movement. At the time, I didn't know that that's what it's called. I was just so desperate to figure things out that I clinged to what sounded good to me. I heard people talk about their experiences with meditation and astral projection and out-of-body experiences, and about auras and frequencies and spirit guides. And I believed that their experiences and their encounters were real to them. And because I believed them, I thought that that alone made it truth. I tried to do some of those things. I wanted to have my own supernatural experience, but nothing ever happened. And looking back, I'm thankful it didn't. And so I became agnostic for a short while because I felt like maybe God isn't a supreme being like the Christians say. Maybe God is everything and everyone. It didn't take long for me to feel very unsettled in that belief, and I actually felt stupid for those thoughts. And so I continued searching for the truth of who my creator is. I then decided to actually take a look into the world religions and found that Christianity, Islam, and Judaism actually have some bits of the Old Testament overlap. And I went down that rabbit hole for a bit. That is actually when I started to feel like I was getting closer to things that made sense. Logically speaking, our very existence is proof enough that there is a creator. There needed to be 2 humans in order to populate the earth. 2 of every animal. Plants need seeds to reproduce. The intricacies of the human body itself and the fact that we are conscious, living beings all point to the fact that there was a starting point and that there is intelligence in the design and maintenance of this world. The Abrahamic religions together make up the majority of what people in the world believed, and so I decided to look into world history and look at the writings and scriptures of these religions to get closer to the truth for myself. I was and still am afraid of being deceived, so I didn't take anything lightly. Islam didn't sit right with me. Judaism didn't sit right with me. And so I somehow ended up down the path of exploring the Christian scriptures. I'm glad that I wasn't brought up in a religious household because I had no allegiance to any denomination and I was pretty much a blank slate and could make my own decision on what to believe without any external or internal biases. I was led into what is known today as the Hebrew Roots movement. I learned about the Torah, the laws of the Most High. I learned about His sacred name, reading the Bible with historical and cultural context, and pretty much the basics of getting closer to the Most High. I can't explain it to you. I can't put it into words, but once I truly believed in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I knew within my spirit that I had truly found the Most High. But that was just the beginning of my journey. You see, finding God is only a small piece of the puzzle. What you do next is most important. The scriptures say in Matthew 7:13-14 that broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many find it, but narrow is the way that leads to life, and there are only few that find it. So I had to take a good look at my life and where it was going and whether or not I was living a life pleasing to the Most High. I have stumbled, I have wandered away, but from that moment in 2012 where I finally accepted the truth of who the Most High is, it has always been my desire to live out this truth. Now, 12 years later, I don't consider myself a Christian or label myself as religious. Instead, I identify myself as a follower of the Most High, who I call Yahuwah, known to many as Yahweh, and I believe in the Messiah, Yahusha, known to many as Yeshua or Jesus. I believe that I am saved by the grace of the Most High through the Messiah's sacrifice, and that I walk out that faith by following the Creator's commandments, guidelines, and instructions for life as outlined in the Torah. I'm still learning. There is still deeper that I can go, and I continue to seek Yah every day. I started this channel to share my journey, to share His goodness, and to form a community where we can encourage each other in the faith. Feel free to share your testimony, subscribe to the channel, and let's seek the Most High together. Shalom.